Hello, happy Friday, and welcome to another episode of Wind Down Fridays with Shirley at bellandblessed.com. Today, I actually have my first guest, Kate, who will be joining us shortly, and we will be discussing all things related to being a boss babe. Kadian, is that you?
Yes, how you doing, Shirley?
Hi, good evening. So great to hear from you. I just actually gave an introduction. So I don't know if you know, you actually are the first guest on my Wind Down Fridays.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yes. I'm honored. Yes. Do you have a glass of wine?
No, I don't. But yeah, I'm committing to no alcohol this year, just for personal reasons. Yeah.
Wow. Okay,
I'm like on a clean health diet, like where it's no alcohol, no sugar, no carbs. You know, just trying to get on track for the new year and just eat more clean. Yeah, for sure.
I love that. That's so important. So is this something you started recently, or have you been on this track for 2022?
I actually started it last year. So because, I was just doing a lot of research and just finding out how sugar is like in everything. And, diabetes run in my family. So I'm like, you know what? Like they always say, health is wealth. And if you want to live long and don't have any complications, you definitely have to pay attention to your diet. And I feel like a lot of people don't. Like they overlook it until it's too late. So I want to be one of those people that's on top of it because I'm like a health nut like that a little bit. So, yeah.
I love that. No, but alcohol does have a lot of sugar. Okay, I'm more of a social drinker. I like my wine, especially for Wine Down Fridays, but I have noticed when I do go out and drink socially that I am like beat the next day. Like I am so tired. Yeah. And I think that attributes to the sugar, like you said. It's like a spike in sugar in your insulin. So I do want to hear more about, yes, which is not good. And I do want to hear more about, like, you brought up an important topic about diabetes. And, we used to work in quality. I still work in quality today. Right. So I know for a fact with, A1C being a measure. We work in the
health department. Yeah.
Yes. So we know firsthand that our people are affected most. And you brought up a good point. Like, so in which ways do you feel like you attribute to a healthier lifestyle? Like, I know you said you gave up alcohol. You're trying to cut back on carbs. Do you, like, being that it runs in your family, is this something that you encourage your family to also practice?
Yeah, I try to have, like me and my husband right now, we're on our keto journey. So we practice keto diets and we eat keto meals, and we just like it because we just feel more energetic when we eat that way. You don't feel like bloated, and you know how sometimes you eat too much food that have high carbohydrates, you feel very bloated and sleepy after. Yes. So when you eat a more like keto, lean, friendly, like foods that are healthy for your gut microbiome, you feel a lot more energetic, you think clearer, and you just feel like balanced overall. So I felt like since I've been doing that after my second pregnancy, I've found that it's helped me maintain my weight better, my health, my mental, so I try to stick to it. So that's how I started my journey with that.
Wow, that's great. And you also brought up a good point with starting it when you were pregnant with Amber. So, that leads me to a good point.
Yeah, exactly. Because I had 2 kids back to back, so you could just imagine the amount of, like, weight you could put on with 2 pregnancies back to back. So it was a challenge for me, like, to get my weight under control because all my life, I was always slim. So it's like pregnancy, my body just took a U-turn, you know what I mean? So I had to, like, get it under control and just figure out, like, how do I get myself back to who I want to be and how I want to feel, as far as internally and externally. So part of that for me was just eating right, getting more mental clarity, and just, having a more active lifestyle. So I've learned to do more sports. I'm into like Pilates now. I'm into swimming. Yeah, so I try to like incorporate little activities throughout my week, so that way I'm like mixing it up, Yeah, so.
Oh, that's great. So, for those that don't know, and I do want to get into a little more, that me and Kadian used to work together, and that's how we met and became very close friends through all the riff-raff and nonsense. But since leaving, and we have stories for days.
That was the good old days.
I mean, literally, like, riff-raff every single day. Like, but we got through it together, and I will always thank you for that because, we really did have each other's back and really, like, it was just always great to be able to laugh at the nonsense. So, but, one thing when I reached out to you to be on this episode was, what we worked together. You were pregnant with Kendra, and I remember you were just getting into Forex. You were just starting. You did basically, like I, explained to you that where you are now, I feel like back then, and this was like 2015, 2016, that you were just very adamant on wanting a certain lifestyle. You were always saying, listen, I'm not about this life. Like, I told you I'm leaving, I'm starting a business. I'm not dealing with this nonsense. And I'm just like, Katie, no, please don't leave me. So I want to walk through that, So, like, you were in New York, and I remember you saying you wanted to move. So what led from the switch from, being in New York to moving out of state, and just your journey through your business, and how do you think moving out of New York has affected you positively?
Yeah, so, like I was saying, back when we were working together, just being in the health field, how gruesome that work can be. It takes a toll on you. And I just felt like I needed a shift in my life. I knew I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I knew that there was other ways and avenues that I can learn to do it. It's just that I didn't have the time. So what I wanted to do when I was pregnant is get control over my time, get your time back. And it's just like a blessing in disguise. My first pregnancy literally gave me that opportunity to do that, because as you know, I went out on leave early, just due to pregnancy complications, like with the swelling and everything. So that opportunity was like a blessing in disguise, because as I'm home and got some downtime, I was able to have, like I told you, more mental clarity to just get an idea of what I want out of life, what I want from my future kids, and what type of lifestyle I want. So I started learning manifestation. I started reading more self-growth development books, and just getting more into mentorship. And I found a really good mentorship around that time that I was involved with. It was actually through my church. And then one of the girls that I knew, she was also a coach, a business coach. And she told me at the time that, the best way you're going to ever beat the rat race is to start a business. And I said, that's a good idea, but I just don't know where to start. So first, I got some more coaching and mentorship from her on how to do online sales. And then I started my own online boutique. So that's where it started, like my entrepreneur bug.
Wow, and, okay.
Yeah, so while I was out of work, I was actually building my, my future now, and didn't even know it. And it's so funny that how, when we're not so distracted with our daily routines, that we get that time off to just think and sit down and write out what you want out of life and create, like, goals and steps on how you're going to achieve them. It actually really does work. And I think everybody should take that mental break to do it. It just happened to happen when I was pregnant, but I definitely recommend everyone take like a good couple weeks off just to get that mental clarity and, connect back with yourself, because that's when you'll get your aha moment of what you're supposed to be doing.
That is so true. And, I think, like, you hit the nail on the head as far as taking that downtime. And even if it's a period where you're not working, even when you are working, and I always talk about that, like right now I work full time, but I still have my business on the side. And, eventually I do get I hope to get to a place where I can work part-time, where I'm just, like, working for benefits or retirement and be an entrepreneur full-time. So it's important to definitely take the time now and the resources to plug into your passions. You know, like,
right.
At the end of the day, we're all working to get someone else rich. That's how I look at it. Like, being an employee, sure. And also you're at the basis of that company. So if layoffs happen or, you know, they just decide that your time is up, you know, you definitely always want to have a backup plan. So I always preach about that, having multiple streams of income. But can you also touch upon how having a supportive husband helps? Because others may not be as fortunate, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it first stems from who you are, right? I'm a very strong-minded individual, and I know, like, I always seek out someone that thinks on my level and that expects, you know, like, the best of me, but then also expect the best of themselves, because we cannot be together if you're not your best and I'm not my best. You know what I'm saying? That was always my mentality whenever I went into any relationship. So it just so happened that my husband matched that quality that I've been looking for and praying for and searching for. And I'm very fortunate to have him, you know, and he's very understanding, very supportive, as you know. And he supports my ideas, my visions. Even sometimes they sound crazy to him. he would go with it. He would definitely go with it. And I knew he was going to be my husband from that first time when he came to my birthday, and I told him I was going skydiving, and he was like, "I'm going with you." Mind you, I just met him like a week ago or 2 weeks ago.
Oh, well, can you give a little background for those that don't know how you met and how long you've been married?
Yeah, so we met at one of our jobs we were working at in a health insurance field back in, 2010. And we've been together since then. You know, we grew as friends, and then we became best friends, and then we just started dating. But it's just so funny that while I was working with him, we would always bypass each other and be like, nah. You know, certain people, and you're just like, nah, that is
yeah.
And it's just so funny that, we ended up in a meeting together, and we were sharing ideas, and he piggybacked off of one of my ideas, and I was like, he kind of thinks like me. You know,
I perked up a little, you're like, all right.
Right. So then that's when I'm like, okay, he's interesting, you know, and then he just, like as time went by, he just kind of was more in my face more, but not purposely, like just through other avenues. And I was like, maybe God is putting this person in my face a lot for a reason. So I just started paying attention to like different cues he was, giving me and stuff. And then like I said, we were just friends, and then one day I invited him to come to my birthday, and I was like, hey, I'm going skydiving, and you want to come with my friends? And he was like, yeah, I'm down. And I'm just like, what?
Wow. Listen, so I'd have been like, I'm not risking my life for you. I'm sorry.
Right.
It's not you.
Exactly. So that to me was a big sign, at least to me, that he was willing to be whatever, supportive type of person to me, whether it's for friends or we just met each other, and he was okay with that. And, it takes a lot of people to have that courage to be okay with you in that sense, and they don't know you like that. You know what I mean? So the fact that he was so open and just so giving, I really appreciated that, and that made, a lot of sense where we're at now, because we work together the same way, where we give for each other, and we're not in a relationship where someone just takes. It's always like a back and forth. We literally pour into each other. So that has helped me along my journey as far as, have grown, right, from like working in the healthcare field to now being an entrepreneur and having my own businesses and learning how to day trade, because he was that mechanism, behind the scenes, encouraging me. Just saying, you can do it. I know you can do it. You're good at anything you do. So all those little things, it makes a big difference.
It does.
I was a new mom, so I was stressed out, like
oh, trust me,
you thought of having a kid. I was like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? Yeah, so,
I remember.
Yeah, you know how like crazy and like I was so obsessed with all the details. You know those pregnant women that's just obsessed with like the size and what the baby's gonna look like. Yeah, that was me. I was just obsessed.
You were, but you know what? You definitely, one thing I could say, just knowing you from then, and like I remember you told me from the minute you found out, and it was like, I think you told me you thought you were pregnant, and then you found out you were.
Right.
So I was like,
I felt it.
There to witness.
Yeah.
You told me, and that's where I take back to like looking fast forward. So we're now 5-6 years later.
Yeah.
Where I look at you and you have moved, and we don't get to see each other often, but we keep in touch with social media. And I'm just like, I remember Kendra being a baby, taking her pictures in your apartment suite. Watching her grow. Then Amber came. Now you moved. You have your beautiful life. And I love to see it. And I have expressed it to you before, but I wanted to reiterate it to you that I just love the growth. And I love to witness and just be a part of someone's journey where literally, like, I've seen it from the progression, and I think that's so important to have girlfriends like that where you can pour into each other. And sometimes you don't even know you're pouring into someone. So you may not even know how much that was an impact to me, but you also know it was going to be a part of a whole other riffraff. I'm not getting into it, but, the whole relationship that failed and my engagement and the wedding and just you were there during a very,
and
tumultuous time.
That's what I loved about you. I love that you were so like nothing break your spirit, Shirley, and that's what I love so much about you and admired you, because I saw you go through those hard times and I was like, oh my gosh, she's still genuinely a beautiful person inside out. She doesn't let anything faze her. I was just like, oh my God. You're the best.
Thank you.
And I appreciate how sometimes you pray to know people like that, and I was just so happy that I found someone like you that have that type of personality and good heart, because that's very hard to find these days. And you were like very genuine, always genuine, and I know you're gonna go far because I see I just see the work that you put in behind the scenes. Don't think I'm not paying attention. I see it, and I'm always in your corner, to cheer you on. That's why I was like, when you picked me up, I was like, of course, I will be on your show.
I appreciate that, Kadian. That makes me feel so good, and it is so true. It is true, and I do receive that, and I do want to preface that by saying, it is so easy to see it on the outside because, trust me, there were a lot of breakdowns, girl.
Oh, no, I know. Trust me. I know.
I have learned.
I know, but, you worked through it and you made it out stronger, and I'm so proud of you. You finished school. You did everything you said you were going to do, and when I saw that you accomplished those things, I was like, I knew it. I knew she was going to do it because I've seen it in you.
Thank you.
You know how you kind of see certain people and you see ahead of where they're going? Like, I feel like I have that gift a little bit. I could see ahead sometimes on certain people, and I just saw it in you that you were going to be successful. And all those people that were around you that were holding you back, you just needed to shake them off. And I'm glad that you actually did, because now look at you. So just keep your head up, keep going, and I know you're going to be great. I know it.
Oh, thank you. Listen, Katie, you didn't say nothing with a word, girl. You didn't say nothing with a word. And you know what? That brings me to a point that people are in your life for a reason in the season. And I definitely receive that. And I don't bash anyone. And I move forward in peace. And like you said, it is a time where God is definitely blessing me in my career, my personal life, my business. And you know what? It's just a catalyst to be better and give me more experience. So I am still praying for my Boaz girl, so send some prayers for me to find my Troy one day, because I see your marriage and I see your beautiful children. And one thing I will say, you are such an amazing mother. The way that you're so attentive to your girls, the way that you love them, the way you love on them, the way you rally them and have fun. Like, that is something I want to have.
Those are my besties.
Oh, I love it. Can you give us a little bit more just a brief discussion on Kendra and Amber, maybe their personalities and how they're developing now their ages.
From birth. You knew from birth how Kendra was. You saw her.
Oh, Kendra was a feisty one, girl. Kendra, let me tell you, when I came there to take her pictures, she was looking at me like, please, who are you, A? B, please
who are you? And hurry up.
Yep. She literally was like, can you please leave me alone? Like, I am in my moment. She was just not having it. But you know what? It ended up working at the end.
She's still a diva. She's still a diva. But she's so smart, so talented now that she's growing into her talent. She's like a little artist. She loves to draw everything she sees. And it's like a challenge for her. And I just sit back and watch her in awe, like how she's growing up so fast, but she has such intricate little details about her that you're like, whoa, you're 5 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's very intelligent. She's in a gifted school right now. She's doing excellent. Wow. And, I felt like New York was holding her back, honestly. And that was another part of why I moved, because I just feel like the school system was not conducive to what I was looking for. And when I came down to Florida and was doing my research of how some of the schools are here, a lot of them participate in STEM learning. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
But very important for these kids.
Yeah, it's like science, math, and engineering and everything all in one, and they break it up throughout the day in their curriculum. And I just felt like New York didn't have that, you know what I'm saying? And she has a very creative, artsy side to her, and I just wanted to make sure she got those type of experience at school so it can, manifest her creativity. Because like you say, everybody has a special gift, right? And I'm one for sure that sees the gifts in my children, and I see what God blessed them with. So I know I was blessed to be their parent to manifest that gift out of them, and I take that very seriously. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why you see I'm always encouraging them.
You are always, let me tell you, one thing with Kadian, she's going to be at someone's amusement park, someone's museum, someone's event. It's like, I love to see it because you be booked and busy. And that's the parent that I'm going to be. Like, get them out the house, get them learning off those iPads, like into the real world. Exposed.
Yeah. She's into a lot of activities right now. She swims. She does art. She told us she wanted to learn instrument, but I don't think she's ready yet. You know what I mean? But we're still taking our time with it. But she definitely is interested in the piano. And her dad used to play the clarinet, so she thinks she could play the clarinet.
Girl, let me tell you a fun fact. I always joke because we did marching band, so I never could read sheet music. I always
really?
The notes. It was so hard to me. I don't know if it's because I'm a lefty. A lot of my peers can, but it was hard for me to just be able to read it and play it. So when we did like parades, I would sing into my instrument. Because I couldn't memorize the sheet music. I could not. But I played the clarinet for like 12 years. God knows. Listen, I hope my band director doesn't listen to this because, child, let me tell you. And he would call people out. He was like a renowned band director. He'd be like, give me an E flat. But he never called me out, thank God.
But yeah, those are like little experiences that you're like, wow, okay, you never know what could stem from it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at least you got the experience in that class to just check on that creative side. And that's what I always want to expose my kids to. Yeah. For sure.
Fair enough, Amber, little Amber.
Amber, toddler still, so she's going through her, toddler phases, but she definitely likes to dance, honey. She is a dancer. She's a dancer. She loves to dance. Anytime she hears music, she's ready to start dancing and singing and jumping around. So she's very active like that. And, she's a Capricorn, so she has that energetic, fluid spirit. Yeah, she's just like, let's go, let's have fun. and she just loves a good time. Yeah.
Aw, that's so good. And I feel like Troy has his twin with Kendra, and you have your twin with Amber. Like, I feel like...
Yes, Amber has a little bit of me, and Kendra has a little bit of her dad, like, where she's, like, calm, mellow, but she also could, like, you know, be very active. So, yeah, they're, like, a little bit of everybody, honestly. Even sometimes I see from my mom's point of view, Amber's a little bit like her. So it's so funny how they have all these little traits. Yeah.
Well, you know, they say Capricorn kids, like, they basically say Capricorn's age, we're like Benjamin Button. So when we're young, we're very mature.
Really?
As we age, we get more playful. Yeah, like, we're very serious.
Oh, yeah, that could explain why she always clowning around Amber. She always going to crack jokes and, you know, act like she's silly. Yeah, but she's definitely the light of the family, you know? She makes everybody laugh.
That's so good. I'm so happy for you, and I definitely blessings over them. I know with a mom like you and a father like Troy, they're going to go so far. So that's not even a question. And we are coming up on time. You know, I did want to do, you know, we'll wind down Fridays. I try to do stints. So not to do too long because, you know, these viewers these days, they just tap out after a certain time. But I wanted to leave on asking you how your faith has played into your success. And maybe leave 3 tips that you'll give a future boss babe. Because you juggle it. You're a mother, you're a business owner, you're a worker, you're a wife, you're a friend, you're a sister. How do you do it all, and how does faith guide you to get to that place?
Yeah, you know, I'm very big on faith. And, you know, to me, I do a lot of devotion and praying at home. I also have churches that I go to as well. But mainly, I'm a person that I'm more spiritual. So I feel like when I have my prayer corner and I, you know, sit down and talk with God, and I just make sure I understand where I'm at in life and then appreciate everything, because gratitude is the best thing that's going to make you go far. And that's how you will get your next blessing. You know what I'm saying? Always be grateful for what you got, even if it's just a little bit. And I feel like that's what got me far, because I've come from nothing to make myself have something. And it's all because along the way, I was always grateful for what I have. You know, like, I'm a second-generation immigrant in my family. So for me to come to this country and go to college, get a degree, you know, make over 6 figures, and didn't even go for a master's, and then now own my own business, that's all glory to God, you know, and I give him every single praise, because it's my faith that drove me, you know, to continue to keep going. And, and it's like God always put the right people in my path, including you, you know what I'm saying? So it's just amazing how, like, we connected. Yeah, it's just amazing how we connected at our old job and then built a relationship and then help each other out from there career-wise. It's been a blessing just to have people like that in my life, because, as you can see, it's propelled me to where I'm at today, you know, where I can do these things, be a homeowner, run a business, have my children, work from home, you know, have more flexibility with my lifestyle. So it didn't come easy. You know, you have to put in work, but with faith, you will get there, you know. So I always have faith. Yes. And I always start my day with a prayer. Right? So I always recommend, you know, even if you're not a spiritual person, just set your you know, your, like, what they call it, your intentions for the day.
Intentions,
like that. I feel like that really, really helps you to focus on what you're going to do for that day. So, like, every day I set my intentions on a goal, whether it's a small goal, a big goal. And as you know, I'm a day trader. So I do trade in the morning, you know, like New York session. And then after that, I continue with the rest of my day, like whether it's the scheduling of my clients and things like that. So, and then just catching up on my other side businesses and other things that I do. And just knowing that I started my day with an intention of a goal is what is going to drive you to the bigger goal, right, to get to your success story. So always remember that. Just keep the faith, manifest what you want in your life. Write it down, because writing things down changed my life, like literally.
Amen.
So I would write things down everywhere. Like I will have sticky notes everywhere.
Wow.
And just be grateful, be humble. I'm a very quiet person. I'm not very loud.
Yes.
But at the same time, I let my actions speak for myself. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's the type of person I am. Mm-hmm.
Wow. So, Kadian, I'm so happy you were my first guest. I feel like viewers are genuinely going to enjoy it.
I'm so honored and blessed to be on your show. Thank you, Shirley.
I appreciate it. I love speaking with you. I just want to leave on the note, can you let the viewers know where they can find you, maybe your IG, if they're interested in learning about more trading, where they can also contact you?
Yeah, I do Forex trading, so if you ever want to learn how to trade Forex, you can follow me on Instagram at subconsciousmama.com, or you can look me up on my website, BMW Forex Mentorship. And basically what I do is I train people from like literally beginner traders up to even advanced people that just want a steady strategy on how to make money in the markets. And a lot of people overcomplicate trading. It doesn't have to be. And through mentorship, I think that's the best way you can learn. Of course, there's a whole bunch of resources out there online, but having a one-on-one mentorship with someone is what's going to propel you, because that's what worked for me, and that's what got me to the level that I'm at. So I'm always willing to pay it forward and teach the next person, even if it can help their situation. So, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Kadian. It was a pleasure to speak with you. Thank you so much for everyone tuning into Wind Down Fridays with Shirley at bellandblessed.com. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Kadian, enjoy. I'm sure you have a full day of activities for your girls tomorrow. Have a wonderful Christmas and a Happy New Year. Okay. I hear you. Tell Troy I said hello, and the girls.
I will. Thank you.
Give them my love. Thank you so much. I will. Have a great evening.
All right. You take care, honey, okay?
You too.
Okay, bye.